Dandavas Pranam Maharaj. Hari Bol. Happy to see you, Maharaj.
Likewise.
How are you, Maharaj?
Okay, good. There are so many devotees, huh? I can't fit you all in at one picture. So nice.
Yes, Maharaj. How are you, Prabhu? Kechad?
Yes.
I'm okay, Prabhu.
Happy to see you. Maharaj,
Yeah.
thank you. Maharaj, few minutes ago, my friend Nelson tell me he meet in Sangha, but in this moment, other person look the little problem, but he come to Sangha more late.
Okay.
He come, pero a little more late.
Okay.
Okay.
No problem. Whenever he has time.
Okay.
One moment. It says 1 moment association with the devotees. 1 moment can make the whole difference in their life. Can change their whole life.
Yes.
1 moment. If they have proper association.
He speaking to him about Srila Prabhupada, about the Krishna conscience. So he I speaking to him, he tell me, oh, very nice. I think he is in this moment enthusiastic. But he had very question in your mind. I speak to him. You question for me, but I don't know conscience, Krishna conscience. I little. It's better question to Maharaj, because Maharaj is great experience and a snow lake. Is today you had question, you can relate question to Maharaj. Is better.
I try. I think you also can do very nicely. All of you. You have very good understanding. Very nice way to express with a lot of heart. I think you can speak to his heart. That is the secret. If you can speak to someone's heart, that is the secret to get them to become Krishna conscious. Head won't work. The head won't work, but the heart will work.
Yeah. Jai Maharaj. Yes. But the here to here.
Okay. Does Priyatama preach? Does he preach to the people?
Yeah, Maharaj. Or preach, but in technique children, the book, the color, little word, because Priyatama mind no very fine. Say Priyatama is equal children. Moment. Understand me, Maharaja?
It's the heart is the important thing, not the mind, the heart. If she can convey from her heart, they will understand.
Ah, okay. Maharaja está diciendo que su corazón entiende. Ya, it's true.
My mind is also not so good. Getting too old. What to do? Huh?
Yeah.
I forget so many things.
Yeah. But
I have a good head. I have a good head here.
Yes, Maharaja. Little for little. Poco a poco. What the name the Prabhu in USA is meeting? He is young man. Prabhu, I don't remember name. Ago meeting. No come today.
Oh no, that
Rose, creo.
yeah. He's now in where? San Diego. He's now in California. He went to California, and he's going to practice there, and ISKCON. He wants to practice there at the ashram in California.
Yeah. Okay.
He likes the ISKCON.
Namaste, Dandavat Maharaj.
Dr. Sahu, Hare Krishna.
Namaste, Dandavat.
Namaste.
Everyone. Kaise aap?
Oh, there you are. Nice to see you. How are you feeling? How's your health?
Yes, I'm better. I'm fine. Not absolutely fine, but I'm
Feeling
with your blessings, I'm fine.
Okay. We send a lot of blessings to you.
Yes, I need that only. I need. Nice to see you. I missed your lecture. I was thinking to ask you something, but then I was not well, so
Okay.
I thought to keep silent.
Anyhow, that recording was not so good. The audio visual was not very good quality.
Yes.
For that program, unfortunately. Otherwise, it was a wonderful program, but it did not come out properly in the audio and visual.
Yes.
So
Yes.
that is a great loss. A great loss. Anyhow, maybe they can publish something.
Yes, they can publish it in a better way, format.
Then everyone can see what happened, what was said.
And as you said that it is AI, the failure was with artificial intelligence.
What's that?
That we discussed about artificial intelligence and difference between artificial intelligence and natural intelligence.
Yeah.
When the recording goes wrong, the problem is with the artificial intelligence. The problem is from the technology side,
yes,
not from the natural intelligence. So that's why natural intelligence is always better than artificial intelligence.
Yes. It's artificial. Like if someone gave you some potatoes, aloo, and then they gave you some artificial potatoes, plastic potatoes, then is it right? Is it good enough? Will you eat them? Will the plastic potatoes taste as good as the real ones? No. So artificial intelligence is useless.
Useless. Yes.
Just like
Yes.
artificial potatoes is useless.
Yes.
Only for looking.
Artificial is always artificial.
Artificial, then what to do with that? Who wants that?
Yes. Nobody wants.
Not useful to us, huh? Only for appearance.
Yes.
Appears to be intelligent, but is not intelligent.
Not intelligent.
A 3-year-old child can immediately, in a picture with so many people, the 3-year-old child can immediately pick out her grandmother. Computer cannot do that.
True.
And it appears there.
Artificial intelligence, the name is clear, artificial, but intelligent human is soul, relation soul, mas artificial intelligence, no soul. And Krishna is supreme intelligence, but artificial intelligence no relation con supreme intelligence is Krishna.
Dandavat.
Dandavat.
Problem is that, if you have artificial eye, and you put some glass in your eye, can you see anything? No, you won't be able to see anything. So they put some camera like that, and well, what can it see? When the optical scanner sees something that says apple, doesn't know what apple is. It doesn't understand. This is apple. This is bread. This is something else. It doesn't understand that. It just repeats some pattern, but it doesn't see anything. When our eye sees something, is the eye seeing? Does the eye see it? No, the eyeball doesn't see anything. And the brain see it? Who sees it?
Self.
The soul.
The soul.
Without the soul, you can't see anything. The eye won't work. Brain won't work. Nothing will work. Only your soul can see. That has the capacity for cognition, consciousness, coming from there. So without the soul, computer is not useless for that, to do what the body can do. The human body can't do anything either but the soul. Without the soul, nothing will work. Matter is just dead. All material energy is simply dead. It won't do anything unless the soul is there. It won't move. They call it dull matter. Dull, because it has no intelligence on its own. So the Spirit is necessary. Spirit is necessary to move matter. Otherwise, matter won't do anything. What's that?
Is there any difference between intelligence and understanding?
Well, generally they're used, there's the same word. They use two words for the same thing. Huh?
And is there any difference between understanding and experience?
What do you mean by experience? The experience, like for instance, when you see something, that's an experience, huh? Seeing, hearing, touching, smelling, tasting. This is what we call experience. What is that?
It's something as you said, that seeing, touching, like the way the empiricists, they talk about the experience.
Yes,
The Berkeley.
but that is different from understanding. Understanding and sense experience are two different things. Huh? Sense experience is merely immediate awareness, immediate consciousness, unmediated, in other words, unmediated. Understanding is mediated awareness. To understand something means you have to think, and then whatever you are seeing, touching, smelling, whatever, then it will become known to you by the understanding. That's called mediated consciousness. But sense, they call sense certainty. Just meeting the senses is only unmediated or immediate consciousness, immediate consciousness. People don't know that it is also consciousness. Seeing is also consciousness. You can't see if there's no consciousness. There's no seeing without consciousness. So seeing is a form of consciousness that is there without mediation, without thinking, practically. Of course, it's there because in seeing, there's two things when we see something. First, there's that what you see, one thing. One thing is that, and the other is what. That something is there, and what that something is. Two things are there. So seeing that something is there, that it has being, like when you say it is a cow. First you say it. That means first you see something is there, but you don't tell what it is, but you know something is there. That's called that. Once you understand that is there or it is there, then you say what it is. What is the second level? Of perception, of understanding what it is. First you have to understand it is there, then you have to understand what it is. So two steps are required in the sense.
Okay.
In senses, first there's the sense, that is to understand something is there. That's called unmediated consciousness or immediate consciousness. That's a sense certainty, called certainty. Something is there in consciousness. Then what it is, that's the second step. That's called perception. Okay. It is white, it is red, it is this color, that color. It is hard, it is soft, it is sweet, it is bitter. Then all those things come second. And then putting them together, that's called understanding. This object is something particular. We take a universal like cow and apply it. This is a cow. First we see that there is something standing there. Then we say, well, it has four legs. It has some udders. It has some colors, blotches of colors. So we see that it is and what it is. And then we understand. And when we apply a category to it, this is a cow. That's called understanding. All those processes are required. and before you say, it is a cow. It is a cow is a judgment. You are judging what it is. When you say it is a cow, somebody else may say, no, it's a horse. Or somebody say, no, it's a mountain. Or somebody may say, no, it's a picture.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
So we take everything so simple, so for granted, but there's deep processes involved in that, and these things that people don't never think about.
That's the problem there in when we talk about Immanuel Kant. Kant is not able to resolve that dualism. Do you find any problem in Kant when he speaks about noumena?
Many problems in Kant.
Yes.
Main problem with Kant, he thinks that I thinks. He thinks that the I thinks. I think that the I is he is taking Descartes' philosophy as his philosophy. That the I think. Cogito. He says cogito, Kant says cogito. That's the first problem. The I doesn't think. Thinking is its own activity.
Yes.
Thinking goes on. Aristotle understood that. Noesis, noesios, noesis. He said, thinking thinks itself. That is the absolute. That is the ultimate reality. Then we come along. And when we come along, when the thinking thinks it's an agent, he thinks that I'm a thinking agent, or I need an agent to think. The agency, the thinker, comes from thought. Thought doesn't come from the thinker. The thinker comes from thought. When thinking thinks there's a thinker, then the thinker comes. The I comes. So this is his first mistake. He made other mistakes also. He tried to distinguish between the phenomena and the noumena.
Noumena, yes.
He distinguished. The thing in itself was the noumena, and the thing that you perceive is the phenomena. He said there's a difference between the two. Yes, there's a difference, but there's also an identity. He did not see the identity.
Yes.
A thing is appearing. The appearance is coming from where? It's coming from that thing. So the appearance is not just something separate. It's coming from that thing. Therefore, it's related to it. And it tells us something about that thing. It may tell us not tell us everything, but it tells us something about that thing. It belongs to that thing. It's not that it's separate. But he could not understand that. He thought they were separate.
But then he left a room for faith.
Then he said, well, yes, we cannot know that thing in itself. We can only know the appearance. We cannot know what that thing itself is. Therefore, we must have faith in that. We know that every appearance has something that it's appearing from. Therefore, we must have faith in that, but we cannot know that. Anyhow, Hegel cleared that mistake.
Yes. Yes. I think coming to Hegel, there is a solution.
Yes.
Like, yes, he has bridged the gap which was created.
He has solved so many philosophical problems. Sridhar Maharaj liked Hegel. Sridhar Maharaj. He liked Hegel very much.
I also like Hegel.
Good.
At least.
Priya studying Hegel too.
Yes, Maharaj. We're trying.
He's an artist.
Oh, Krishna Keshavada. Thank you, Maharaj.
Uma Devi already knows more than Hegel.
I like his concept of desire also, human desire. His concept of self-recognition and the state of becoming absolute spirit, the concept of absolute spirit. And there is a process of development he speaks about, from a being to non-being to becoming, and taking history into account. Also, that giving emphasis on history is a desired desires, and transcending the state of limitations, you can reach to the state of becoming. And that concept I like is not there in Kant, was not there in Hume. So extreme form of radical empiricism. But then also it established some way the power of the human mind, and sometimes also, but could not establish the things properly because of limitations of experience. I don't know, maybe I'm wrong in my analysis, but I like Hegel.
You read his phenomenology?
Yes, phenomenology of spirit, but not the complete book I have read. I have just introduction.
Okay.
That also we have a text. I'm teaching that paper master-slave dialectics, and then the desired, and that's to Kozev's reading of Hegel, introduction part, not the whole book I have read, but I want to, because it's the famous writing of Hegel, also very difficult text.
What was that, Ed? What was that?
From last week.
What's his name?
Nelson.
Who?
Nelson.
Nelson. Haribo Nelson. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Good afternoon. Thank you.
Hare Krishna.
Good to see you again.
Me too. Thank you so much. I'm late, but I'm here. Thank you.
He's alive. He's here.
Okay. So, okay, let's begin with Vandana. Vandana. Please all chant together.
Yes, Maharaj.
Vandeham.
Vandeham Yuda Pada Kamalam Viguruna Vaishnavam Cha Sagarajatam Sahagana Raghunatha Anavitam Tam Savjivam Sadavaitam Sada Sambutam Saitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita
Srivisham
Brahmasya Jnana Jnana Salakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yana Tasmai Sri Gurave Namaha. पूज्य श्री गुरु वर्ग वंदित महाभावना पूर्व पर्य परंपरा प्रचलित प्रज्ञा प्रमूर्त कृतः भक्तफल निःश्रास्य निवृत्तं संस्कृतं सादरं वंदे श्री गुरुदेवम् अनाथ शिर आचार्य वर्यम् एकबीजम् गुरुगणर अशेष संभूषितं चिंत्य समस्त वेद निपुणं श्रीरूप पंथानुगमं गोविंद विधम उज्ज्वलं भरतनुं भक्त्य अनभितं सुंदरं वंदे विश्व गुरुना च दिव्य भागवत प्रेम देवं दिव्य तनुं सुचनंद वदनं मल्लरक चिलचितं गुरुं सदा एकवर्णं वैराग्य विद्या बुद्धिं सिद्धांत निधिं सुभक्ति लक्षणं सारस्वतं वरं वन्दे तं सुभदं सिद्धांत सरस्वती विदित गौड़ीय गोरप अनर्वय प्रभात गगने योगौर संकीर्तन मायावाद तिमिंगनम कृष्ण प्रेम सुधादि गहन सुखम नमो गुरु किशोराय भक्तवादुत मूर्यते पुरंगृह पद्मभृंगाय राधापाह वंदे भक्ति विनोदम श्री गौरशक्ति स्वरूपकम भक्ति शास्त्रज्ञ समराज्यम राधारस सुधानिधम गौरव वंद्य विग्रहं जगन्नाथ प्रभुं वंदे प्रेमविधं वृद्ध वैष्णवं नमो नमः पंचतत्वकं कृष्णं भक्तरूप स्वरूपकं भक्तारं भक्तख्याम नमामि भक्त शक्तिकाम नमो महावदनाय कृष्ण प्रेम प्रदायत कृष्णाय कृष्ण चैतन्य नामे गुरुत्यस्य नमः नमः जयतं सुरातो पंगुर्मम मंद मतर्गति तत्सर्वस्य पद्माभोजो राधा मदन मोहन दिव्याद वृंदरण्य कल्पद धुमाधः श्रीमद् रत्नागर सिंहासन स्तव गोविंद देव मन रस रस करसेन वेणुस्नाम गोपीर गोपीनाथाय विन्दाय तुलसी देवाय प्रियाय केशवस्य च कृष्ण भक्ति पदे देवी सत्यवाय नमो नमः अथ नत्वा मंत्र गुरुना भवगतदन व्यासन जगन गुरुन नत्वा श्री गुरु गौरांग गंधर्व श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासदि गौर भक्त वृंद हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna.
Guru Maharaj, Srila Charidev, Srila Santa Maharaj, Ki
Ki
Jai.
Jai.
Samalita Bhaktivinoda Ki Jai.
Jai.
Kings
Ki
overnight,
Jai.
glory to the assembled devotees, all glories to the worldwide devotees. Gaur Premanand.
Ki Jai.
Hari 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 Bol.
Hari 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 Bol.
Madhava Puri Maharaj Ki Jai.
Jai.
Any
You
questions?
can.
More questions? All right. Nelson, you have any questions?
Hi. Sorry, I don't hear.
Do you have any questions, Nelson, for Maharaj?
Not for today, thank you.
Any other? Sahu, Dr. Sahu, you have another question?
Yes, I have a question. How do you understand ego? What do you mean? What is, we said there is a, when we talk about ego, in case of Sankhya philosophy.
Ego means self-consciousness. Is the self, huh? The I. The I is a self-identity, self-consciousness. What you identify as yourself is abstract, huh? I is a repository of all your thoughts, all your experiences are all united in the self. But that is the false self. That is the false ego. When you say I, you mean yourself. But that is a false ego. Because you are locating that within your limited experience. But the I also has a wider meaning than that, which people generally don't recognize. When you say I, everybody says I. Everyone identifies themselves by the same word. Therefore, in English, I is not only singular, however, it is also plural. The plural of the first person is we. No?
Yes.
And we means that I identify myself within the community of self. When you say we are going, we, like in the US, they have the Declaration of Independence, they call it. And it starts out with we the people. Huh? We the people of the United States, in order to form a more just government, and so forth and so on. They start with we, but there in the we, the I am also there. So I is not just a singular self. There's also a plural self. And we know that. Everyone calls himself I. So how can I say, I am I? Just like a tree. I say this is tree. But every tree is a tree. It's universal and singular. Both. So I think of myself as a singular, but I am also a part of a universal. So that, what about that universal? What is my relationship with that universal? We don't think of that. But that is the real essence of the self, is the universal. That's where it's coming from. When I say this is a tree, the real meaning of tree is in the universal concept, not in the individual. That tree is only a particular type of tree. If I say, what is that? Mammal. A mammal. Huh? Cow is a mammal. Cow is a type of mammal. But cow is not the same meaning as mammal, but the same as mammal. Mammal and cow are the same, but it's not that the cow is the universal mammal. I can't say cow instead of mammal. It doesn't represent all the mammals. A cow is also a horse as a mammal. A man is a mammal. All these are mammals. A whale is a mammal. But it's not found in cow. It's found in the word mammal. So the cow is a part of mammal. And mammal is an essential part of the cow. Without mammal, we could not say cow. We would not know what a cow is. Cherry. Cherry is a fruit. But you can't go to the market and find fruit. You can only find cherries and grapes and apples and pears. You don't find fruit. But fruit is the essence of those things. Without fruit, we cannot say what they are. So it's the more important part. In the same way, our self, the more important part of self is the universal self. That's where it's all coming from. That is the real ego. Ego is to be found there, in the universal self, not in the individual self. That we call Krishna consciousness.
Oh. Is ego a product of intellect?
Huh?
Is ego a product of intellect?
A product of intellect?
Buddhi?
No, not a product.
Who creates ego?
It's a difficult. Ego is created by thinking, as I mentioned in the beginning. Thinking thinks itself. But when it thinks itself to be an agent, then it creates ego. To conceive, when thinking thinks it's doing its own activity through its finite self, that is called ego, as the agent of thinking. Just like Descartes and Kant all thought. So many philosophers thought that the self is the thinking. They don't realize the difference between thinking and the self. There's a difference. So the self is created by thinking. When it thinks itself to be a thinker, a finite thinker, thinking is infinite. It deals with nothing but itself. It's the object of thought. Thinking is thought, not anything. It's itself, thought. So it's called infinite. There's nothing outside of itself. When it thinks itself to be a thinker, then it becomes ego, in my understanding.
Thank you so much.
What's that?
One time, Srila Shanta Maharaj was asking about this similar thing, the way you described it to him, asking about the relationship between consciousness and thought, actually. And you were saying how thought, like now, thought is infinite, thought is thinking itself. But when thought separates itself into thinker and the thing being thought about, that's where consciousness comes in. If thought is remaining in its infinite unity as thought, then consciousness is not there. There's no subject and object. But then when it takes itself to be two separate things, subject and object, then that's where consciousness comes in, the ego comes in. So
yeah, we have to trace out these things in philosophy, the philosophy of mind. These things are traced out and discussed. Plato and Hegel can't describe these things. I can't repeat all those things that they said, but basically you can find it there if you try to trace it, how one thing comes from the other. But I can't remember all the details. Anyhow, that is there available if you've tried to study that. But the basic point is that, what I told. Ego is not only singular, it's also plural. Not only, it's also universal. Universal. And that universal I, that is the self, the true self, the foundation of self. And that is Krishna. So, okay. So you study these details. We have to study in philosophy. It's there, but it takes some time to study that. And like I said, I've read that many times, but now I can't remember all the details how it works from one to the other. But it is given there in the books.
Maharaj, oh, sorry. I was going to ask when Srila Maharaj says that consciousness has the ability to see itself, is that where Krishna Kesha was just explaining?
Yes.
But so in that moment between thought and thinking.
Yes, consciousness can think itself.
But is that how it sees itself? How it then recognizes itself?
Consciousness can be understood through thinking in its more details when it develops itself, when thinking develops itself. As we find in, for instance, the science of logic. We'll find how so many different categories of thinking develop one after another, starting with being, and then going to essence, and then to its own concept of itself. Hegel traces out that development of thought. So it's very complex, but it's all already done. We just have to be able to follow that, retrace the path that he showed, and then we can understand these things. Unfortunately, my memory is not so good that I can't remember each detail and tell you in a detailed way how that works. But anyhow, it is all vivid.
All those things are available on your website you made of Hegel. It has links to all those resources.
I don't know, whatever. Anyhow, the books are there if you're interested in those details. It's not easy. You will have to become very serious too, and very, very deeply thoughtful to follow all those things. But it is available. In the meantime, you have to take my word. That's called faith. If you want.
Thank you, Maharaj.
What else? That's it.
Send little comment, Maharaj, for you.
Yes, Prabhu.
Or WhatsApp chat.
Says, I once read that Srila Prabhupada explained ego is identity. There are two types of ego, true ego and false ego. False ego is when we identify with material and impermanent things, and true ego is when we identify with world of consciousness of Krishna, with the world of true consciousness that is true ego. In itself, ego is simply identity.
Very nice. Thank you, Hayananda Prabhu.
Thank you, Maharaj.
Page 177. Jaya Vishnupad Paramahamsa Paribrajacharya Astatara Satashi Dakshina Dev Goswami Maharaj. From Sri Prapanna Jivanamrita. We're on page 177, text 8. Srinvata Stradayadityam Grinatas Chastvachastitam Natid Nadirgena Kalena Bhagavan Vishate Hridi from the Bhagavatam. 284. Canto 2, Chapter 8, Text 4. Swiftly does the Lord enter into the hearts of those who with faith constantly hear and chant the glories of his personality. Of course, the Lord is always within our heart. But for those who chant and hear the glories of the Lord, he becomes manifest. That Lord within the heart becomes manifest. And that means we become Krishna conscious. We become conscious of Krishna through hearing and chanting.
Sugata Prabhu entered.
Huh?
Sugata Prabhu?
Where? I don't see it.
His name came. Just let him in. He may try to come again.
Okay. Anyhow.
Okay.
Then that's so that is how manifest or God Krishna conscious. We become conscious of Krishna by hearing and chanting the glories of the Lord. And next text, number 9. Nigama kalpatarorgali tamufulam sukumukadamita ataravya samyutam pibata bhagavatam rasa alayam ohora rasika bhuvi bhavuka. From Bhagavatam, first canto, first chapter, third verse. The Holy Scripture, which describes the glories of the Supreme Lord, has descended intact from the wish-fulfilling tree of the Vedas and is enhanced by the nectar of the lotus mouth of Shukadev Goswami. All connoisseurs of the mellow of devotion, please constantly relish this fruit, which is the embodiment of those mellows. O devotees, blessed with heart's devotion, as long as you are not utterly dissolved in the reality of ecstasy, that is, as long as your hearts are not merged in devotional mellow, then taste the Srimad Bhagavatam in your life in this world as a pure votary of divinity. And even when your hearts are overflooded, you will perpetually continue to drink the supreme nectar divine. So this is glorification of the Srimad Bhagavatam. Srimad Bhagavatam is also it's called the literary incarnation of Lord Bhagavatam. If you are not, as he's saying here, if you are not drowning in the ocean of divine ecstasy by remembering Krishna, then you must read his Bhagavatam, and then you can drown in that ocean. And even when you are drowning in that ocean, even then, if you read Bhagavatam, you will still be able to relish the sweetness, overflowing sweetness of that divine literature, that literary incarnation of Krishna, because you will be associating with Krishna in his book form. Krishna can incarnate in any way he wants. So he is incarnated in this world as Srimad Bhagavatam. That is the fact. Okay. So you want to know Krishna, you want to be in touch with him, read the Bhagavatam. And don't read it by yourself. We're told read the Bhagavatam from the lips of the pure devotee. Hear the Bhagavatam from the devotee. Don't try to do it on your own. If you approach the Bhagavatam on your own, you'll become crazy. You'll become insane. You won't be able to understand. So many contradictory, impossible things are there. The real understanding of the Bhagavatam comes from the heart of a devotee, one who has established devotion to Krishna, because that is the purpose, the function of the Bhagavatam, is to awaken devotion, love for Krishna. And Krishna can only be understood with the heart. The heart of a devotee is required. Devotion is required. Bhakti Amam Abhijananti, Krishna says in the Bhagavad Gita. Bhakti Amam, not Gyanamam. By bhakti, by devotion, I can be known. So this is required. Well, we must approach humbly to the genuine devotee who has understood these things. Not any devotee, genuine devotee, who is actually practicing, has realized the authentic process of Mahaprabhu is taught. Trinadapi Sunichena. One must be very humble, more humble than the grass. That's the first qualification. Once you reach that qualification, then we can talk about bhakti. Notice that this Bhagavatam, you see, and not a book, or not somebody writing a book and putting so many different things down. It's a book about somebody speaking the Bhagavad Gita. Vasudeva wrote this book, but not that he was writing it. So he was writing about what Shukadeva spoke. Why is that? Because, again, Shukadeva is a pure soul, pure devotee. Therefore, we're hearing from a devotee about the Supreme Lord and about the devotees. This is a very important lesson that Srimad Bhagavatam is teaching us, even by the very form of the book itself. And not just somebody writing something. It's a book about the speeches, the words of Shukadeva Goswami to the sages of Dharmasaranya. That's a very important element.
You're also hearing from the servant of the servant of the servant.
Okay.
That element is there too. You're hearing from the servant of the servant of the servant, because Shukadeva is repeating what he heard from his father Vyasa, and then what the story that's being narrated is Sutta Goswami remembering what he heard as a member of the sages of Dharmasaranya, listening to Shukadeva, who was repeating from Vyasadeva.
Okay.
So
yes, very good. What was that?
He's trying to come again.
Oh, Srugata.
Yeah.
Srugata?
Yeah.
Ramsa. Srugata, is that you?
He's having some problem with the audio.
He's trying to connect, but
not able to connect.
The phone, some problem is there with the phone.
Maharaj, please, little Spanish for
Español,
devotees.
yes, por favor. Muchas gracias.
Thank you, Maharaj. Thank you. El Maharaj estaba explicando el verso que acaba de leer, que era un extracto de Srimad Bhagavatam, y el Maharaj comentó que el Srimad Bhagavatam es considerado como el libro, es un libro extremadamente sagrado porque es la manifestación literaria del Señor Krishna. Es decir, que no existe diferencia entre el Señor Krishna y el Srimad Bhagavatam. Srimad Bhagavatam es extremadamente importante. También Maharaja comentó que el Srimad Bhagavatam está muy unido al Srimad Bhagavad Gita. Los dos textos son muy elevados. Y en el Srimad Bhagavad Gita está la enseñanza de Krishna, y Srimad Bhagavatam están también su vida y sus encarnaciones. Y él también habló que hay algo muy importante, que Vyasadeva fue el que tradujo todos los Vedas y todo, o los escribió, pues, no los tradujo, los escribió, los recibió por revelación espiritual, pero tiene su hijo Sukadeva Goswami, era una persona muy pura, era joven, un niño muy jovencito, y Sukadeva Goswami fue el que manifestó el Srimad Bhagavatam. El Maharaja explica que eso es porque Sukadeva era muy puro, muy puro, y por eso él trajo el Srimad Bhagavatam para toda la eternidad, para poder una oportunidad de recordar siempre al Señor Krishna y todas sus manifestaciones. Jai Maharaj.
Gracias. Jai Hariananda Prabhu ki jai.
Ultimada Puri Maharaj ki, all devotees ki.
Jai.
Oh, is that
Sugata Prabhu.
is that Sugata Prabhu there? Are you able to hear us?
Yes, I got the video turned off now.
Oh, okay. Okay.
I'm moving around doing things. So we
welcome you. Offer our Dandavats to you. Sugata Prabhu.
Pranams Maharaj and all these simple Vaishnavas.
Yes.
And Vaishnavis.
Sugata is a disciple of Srila Prabhupada, old devotee of Prabhupada.
Yes, I met Madhava Puri Maharaj in 1973.
Oh, a long time.
And he was very kind to me as a young man visiting the temple. And so I reconnected with him.
Yeah.
Aye.
Oh. How many then? 33, 73, now 22,
27,
20,
and
45
40,
years?
no, 40 years, about 40 years.
40 years, more than 40 years.
Exactly, Maharaj. Who's counting?
He can remember 40 years ago. I cannot remember. He got a good brain.
Just so everyone knows, I was there in Washington, D.C. in 1976 when Srila Prabhupada founded the Bhaktivedanta Institute and made Maharaj a part of it.
That was on Saraswati Thakur's appearance day.
Yes.
In December. Do you remember Rupadunga? Have you been in touch?
Yes. Yeah, I haven't. I tried to call him recently. I have his phone number, and I follow him. He's preaching. He does some things on YouTube, and he's in pretty good health. He's down in Alachua, and he is doing a lot of preaching on the internet. And there's many devotees down there, and people contact him for his Siksha. A lot of God's siblings and second generation. He has been trying to keep Srila Prabhupada's original unrevised books going. Been kind of champion of that.
He's very strong about that.
Yes.
As it is. He likes as it is.
As it is. We can all write our own books. Or if we want to revise it, we can put our name on it and say we revised it.
Yes. Why not? Anyone else you know now from those devotees? Are you in touch with all these devotees, older devotees, or what?
Yeah, pretty much. A lot of my God siblings on Facebook and all over the country. A lot of them have done, like I was telling you, a lot of them went to, after Srila Prabhupada passed, a lot of them went to Srila Sridhara Maharaj. Some went to both the Puri Maharajas, then Srila Narayana Maharaj. Very few were involved in ISKCON very much. Just the leadership.
So do you associate with any of the devotees?
Yeah, a lot.
You have meetings? You meet them?
We do Harinam in DC.
Oh.
And every Saturday. And
who meets? Which devotees do you do?
Palaka Prabhu, my godbrother.
Oh, Palaka, yes.
He focalizes it, and he has a nice loyal group, and they go out every Saturday. And a very nice area in suburban DC, right by a metro, and a big shopping mall and free parking, and do street sankirtan and distribute Srila Prabhupada's books and a little prasadam. And we encourage, sometimes for big festivals in DC, we go down. I do it sometimes just alone in DC myself. And sometimes I get some people and just to play a tape and chant a little bit, then talk and distribute.
Wonderful.
Yeah. And of course, with COVID, the whole Vaishnava international community has gotten a lot more doing things by video. So here we are all over the world. So listening right now.
Do you go to India?
I've been there 3 times. I have not been there since the summer of 1999. So I'm
You're a little behind.
yeah. So I want to go very much. And I was saving my pennies.
Do you know Shanta Maharaj? Bhakti Niskam Shanta?
His name again, Maharaj?
Bhakti Niskam Shanta Maharaj. He's a disciple of Sri Damodar and also of Govinda Maharaj in Sri Chaitanya Saraswati.
Right. I was hearing about him earlier today. We were speaking about that. I don't think I've had the pleasure of meeting him.
Yeah, now the Acharya and
yes.
in the Sringapali temple, and he has many things going on there. That's where we recently held the artificial intelligence meeting. You go there and visit him sometime. That'd be very nice.
And so he's there in India, correct?
He's in India, in the Sringapali. The Sringapali is the Sringa temple in Navadvip.
In Navadvip, okay.
Yes, there's a nice. When Lord Nrsimha finished his work with Hiranyakashipu, he went there. There's a kund there, and he washed his hands.
I've heard about this place. I've never been there.
It's called the Sringapali. It's where he washed his hands after tearing apart Hiranyakashipu.
Maharaj, do you go back and do you visit India frequently?
I haven't been there also for a long time.
Mm-hmm.
My health is one reason, and also I had some trouble from visa getting it back in there.
Yes.
But I'm always in touch with the devotees there. Santa Maharaj is very close, working very closely with myself for many years now.
Oh, wonderful.
Since Srila Sripad, Bhakti Yoga Maharaj, I think, left this world in 2006.
Yes.
And so maybe the year after that, I met Santa Maharaj and Muni Maharaj also. And we have been together since that time.
Oh, that's wonderful.
Yeah. Trying to preach. And we started this Science and Scientist Conference, International Conference, in 2013. And it's been going on every year since.
And this conference is taking place in India?
And this one took place in India, yeah. We've had many conferences at different universities in India. This is the first time. This is the first time we held the conference at the Dom.
Oh, yes.
So the people who went there, some of the philosophers, some of the scientists who went there, they were at first they were a little astonished that such simple conditions. They thought, how could we stay here? But then after they were there for some time and simple accommodations, they liked it very much. And they became very inspired by the spiritual atmosphere there. And they wanted to stay.
Yes, it's like that. Simple living, high thinking.
But profound, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Anyhow, so if you have a chance, you can go and visit. And you'll
Thank you. Thank you so much for the invitation.
Some spiritual nourishment.
Yes.
Spiritual nourishment. Too much politics is no good.
Exactly. And Srila Prabhupada, he encouraged us preaching in the West. If we were able, to try to go to India, to the Holy Dhams, even once a year if possible.
Once a year for Gaur Purnima.
Yeah.
So they're having a big Gaur Purnima festival there. If you like
Wonderful.
if you like it in a small scale, but not too small. Mayapur is so big, you know, so many people are coming. But there in the Sringapali, they have a small Sankirtan party, very nice and very spiritual, very transcendental.
And this Nrsimhapali, this is not in Navadvip town proper, right? It's out some distance away.
It's in where is that?
It's called Thakurtala in Nadia.
Thakurtala? No, but
It's in West Bengal, in the state West Bengal.
yeah, no. One of the dweeps.
One of the 9 dweeps, yes.
The 9 dweeps. I can't remember which one now.
Is it Godrum Dweep?
Godrum dweep, something like that.
Also, it's wonderful. So it really is a more simpler, smaller, less hustle and bustle atmosphere.
Yeah. You can have a chance to meditate. They have a lot of cows there also.
Oh, that's wonderful.
Yeah.
Yes, I was involved with the cow protection program here in America with Rupanuga. We had a Washington D.C. farm for 2 years, and then up in Gita Nagari. I was up there. I spent my youth farming and learning how to do oxen and all that.
Very nice. And now there are so many things now that you can fill your life with Krishna consciousness. If you get to know Sridhara Maharaj, there's another whole arena of spiritual knowledge to become familiar with is very glorious. And we hope to remain in contact with you. It would be very nice.
Yes, I'm glad I'm back in contact. I have a lot of friends that took a Siksha or initiation from Srila Sridhara Maharaj, and there's a lot of I know from the line coming from Keshav Maharaj and Narayan Maharaj and the other people of the Gaudiya Vedanta Samhita. I get to see a lot of them.
Who?
A lot of my god siblings, took Siksha or from Srila Sridhar Maharaj, and I see them. And there's a lot of here where I get around. There's a lot of people. When I saw both in Srila Narayan Maharaj, people that follow, a lot of them were there's a lot of crossover, and a lot of it's all kind of mixed up.
Yeah.
But I was out at the wonderful center of Sokil. I visited there a couple of times, and I've seen the preaching and the strong song at the Rainbow Gatherings, and spoken to many sannyasis over the years, and other disciples and grand disciples, and the Chaitanya Saraswati Mat line, and it's I love it because it's so it's very pure and
Shuddha Bhakti.
Yes.
That is very important, Shuddha Bhakti. And we have to, and the main thing about Shuddha Bhakti is the Shuddha Bhakta. We have to learn Shuddha Bhakti from the Shuddha Bhakta. That is very rare to find. Many bhaktas are there, but the high and the genuine Shuddha Bhakta, that is very rare. Yeah. Samahatma Sadurlabha. Yeah, in the Bhagavad Gita, Prabhupada describes Samahatma Sadurlabha. You know that verse? What is it?
Yes, I can't quote. I'm not a big. I know the verse, but I can't recall it. I'm not
remember all the scriptural verses, huh?
No, I never.
Not a pundit.
I know the philosophy very well.
Okay.
And I know a lot of the Sanskrit terms, but I've never been a big verse memorization person.
Yeah. Well, that one I remember because it's a very important verse. It says, Samahatma Sadurlabha, Bahunam Janmanam Ante, Jnanavamam Prapadyante, Vasudeva Sarvati, Samahatma Sadurlabha.
Sadhu-Sanga, yes.
Now you remember that, huh?
Yeah, and the translation goes, I'm trying to remember. Can you help me?
Bahunam janmanam, and after many, many births. Bahunam means many. After Bahunam Janmana is birth. Bahunam Janmanam Mante, afterwards. Huh? After many births, Gyanavam Mam Prapadyante, one becomes wise enough. One gets enough knowledge to Gyanavam Mam Prapadyante. Prapadyante means to surrender. One becomes wise enough to surrender to me after many births. Then he says, what is the next one?
Vasudeva Sarvamati.
Vasudeva Sarvamati. That he realizes that Krishna is everything. Vasudeva. Vasudeva Sarvam. All is Krishna. Sarvamati. Vasudeva Sarvamati. Samahatma Sadurlabha. That's to find such a great soul like that is very rare. That's called Krishna consciousness. You recognize that Krishna is everywhere.
Yes.
And everything and everyone. That's Krishna consciousness. His whole life is submerged in Krishna. Huh?
Yeah. Maharaj, you were describing about us being around a real Shuddha Bhakta. Yeah. And I was just there was a class just today with our godbrother Bhagavat Maharaj, and he was quoting Srila Prabhupada in Australia, talking to our godbrother Madhava Prabhu. And Madhava was asking him about is having the book and the tape, and videos and stuff, what is the difference between that and being present with the Guru? And Srila Prabhupada was explaining to him that just like when you take a class, a professor may write the book on some subject, but some other professor may be teaching the class. And Srila Prabhupada kept on drilling into Madhava until he understood that this is Guru Tattva also, but if that person has mastered and realized that, then they can teach you. It's not just theoretical knowledge, but being, like you're saying, a Shuddha Bhakta, being in the presence of one.
It's a living religion.
Yes.
The scriptures, the tapes, all these things, these are passive. This is passive Guru. But we need active Guru. We need someone who can talk back to us, to chastise us. That is Guru, living Guru. We need that.
Yes.
We cannot do that just from passive Guru. You cannot learn. Passive Guru cannot talk back. They cannot tell you, no, you're not understanding properly. This is the problem. People reading the books and they think they understand everything. Even they read the highest books, they think they understand even those higher things. But it's all nonsense because they do not have the instruction from the what is that called? The Mahabhagavat. Bhagavatam is there, but the Mahabhagavat is also more important. Mahabhagavat means the pure devotee.
Yes.
Who is living the Bhagavatam, who is a Tattva Darshan, who is seeing the Bhagavatam.
And that, when we get that, of course, we want to, hear, like you said, any way we can. That's theoretical, that's inspiring, but when we get that actual living presence, there's it's a spiritual transformation because they're living it, and they can impart that to us directly.
And the mood, everything is so important in spiritual life. Just like there are those who are teaching the higher books. Sridhara Maharaj hated that. Those who would go into the higher literature, he hated that. He said, this is Saraswati, probably preached his whole life, trying to condemn that type of approach. We don't approach the higher things by our own whims, by our own desires. Rather, we try to withdraw from that. Let them be revealed to us. We don't try to exploit them for our own interest, curiosity.
Yes.
Not the approach to those things. This we don't like. And that is Sahaja actually and different and in certain form. So the proper process, as you do your service, you mind your own business, whatever service Gurudev has given you, and those things will be revealed in your heart. Those are higher things. We cannot approach them with our own efforts. Those have to be given to us by the higher intelligence. Don't think that higher world is not intelligent. He knows what you are doing. We must have that shraddha. We must have that faith. And they will,
faith, yes.
all that love, all these things, they are part of us, but they will be revealed. They're an intimate part of our own identity. Soul is pure love. But that has to be revealed. We don't know what that is, because it is even our own soul is higher than ourselves.
Yes.
Higher than the ego, higher than our consciousness. They call spirit. Spirit is higher than consciousness. So how will we get to that? And Mahaprabhu has given a perfect explanation for that when he said, Chanada peace and Ichena. You know that verse? Chanada peace and Ichena. Means be humble, more humble than grass.
Yes, the blade of grass, more tolerant than tree.
More humble than grass, more tolerant than tree.
And to offer all respects to others.
Give us, honor all others. Even though
such a humble state of mind.
Even your enemies, those who are against you, who speak against you, they must honor all. And then you will be qualified. That higher world will speak to you and reveal to you what is love. What is that? Devotion. Otherwise,
yes.
we will miss everything. So this is the teaching of the Shuddha Bhakta, the real devotee, who knows these things and follows the instruction of Srila Saraswati Thakur. And I've seen that in Prabhupada and also in Sridhar Maharaj.
Yes.
Have to be careful.
It's like there's different qualities, different levels of disciples. Like the first class disciple, he understands the spiritual master's instructions and desires, and he's able to serve. He doesn't even have to be prompted because he already understands. And the second class disciple, he gets the instruction and then he executes it.
Yeah.
And the third class disciple, they have to be repeated and corrected. And then of course the fourth class disciple is wallowing, can't follow the instruction.
Very nice. This much you understood. Good. That's very good. Anyhow, I'm very happy to hear from you. And
yes.
Please, we're here every week. Do come and hear the descriptions. We would generally read the books of Sridhar Maharaj and try to talk about them and keep nurturing, pouring the water on the root, the Bhakti Lata beach. You have to take care of the Bhakti Lata beach, with watering and hearing and chanting.
And association with Vaishnavas.
That's where we hear and chant. Hearing from is the Vaishnavas, not from the ordinary people.
No, just like that book that Srila Prabhupada translated, that book by Rupa Goswami, the Upadeshamrita, the Nectar of Instruction. What is it? Only 8 verses or something?
Yes.
And he's asked us to read it once a month so we can understand the different levels of devotees and that progress, so we can understand ourselves and we can understand how to relate to others. The devotee is always kind to the innocent and is helping them. They avoid the demoniac, except for like maybe Uttama Adhikar can deal with that. But yes.
Kanishta is the lowest, third class. Madhyam is the second class, and Uttam
is the highest class.
High class.
And even in the mid levels, like myself, I'm just Kanishta, I've advanced and stuff, maybe hovering on some qualities at the beginning of Madhava, but I can see devotees like yourself I'm seeking out because you're more advanced. you know, so I'm getting some benefit. You know, you're not a Mahabhagwat, but you're more advanced than me. So I'm getting benefit from your association. And I can take that and I can, you know, share that with my equals, and I can help inspire and instruct those that are you know, not as evolved yet.
Well, we need encouragement. Even the older devotees, they need encouragement also. We need your encouragement, and we want your blessings. So you please
I'm praying for your success, Maharaj. Whatever little lessons I can offer from what little service I've done to my Guru Srila Prabhupada, I definitely offer them to do it. And I ask for you to please bless me, that I can make great progress in this lifetime. I'm you know, 66 years old. I'm getting towards, you know, the the end of my life, the golden years.
Now I am 80 years old.
80 years old, yes.
So anyhow, I need much help also. Anyhow, please give your association to us. We will be very happy.
Yes.
And we have many things. If you like to cooperate, participate in also, and help with your preaching, give some ideas about how to preach to others in a scientific way.
Yeah, I'm looking into when I get the time to read your books, and that was very helpful. The discussion we had this morning, you gave me some new points.
Okay. Yeah, Dr. Sahu is here also. You see, Dr. Sahu, she is from Delhi University. Huh?
Ah,
That was good.
Delhi, and then we have Kanupriya. She is the curator at a museum, the art museum. And Uma Devi, she's a pure soul. And Harinanda Prabhu also, and his family. And Bhagavati and Priyadarshini and Bhagavat and Priyatma and Aditi Nanda, Ananditi, all very nice Gandharvas. They are like Gandharvas.
wonderful.
Their words, their singing is so beautiful when you hear them. And then our friend Nelson also is here. This is Sugata. Sugata, is that the right pronunciation?
Yes, Sugata, yes.
I'm here.
Okay.
Yes, but Dandavat Pranams from Washington, D.C. to all the Vaishnavis and Vaishnavas. Vanchakalpa Trivascha, Kripa Sindhu Vevacha, Paditatam, Pavanebhyo, Vaishnavebhyo, Namo Namaha.
Sugata Prabhu ki jai.
Can I get darshan, Prabhu? Your darshan, please.
It said his video is not working.
Wait, not.
Maharaj, Nelson, write me, please translate for Spanish this conversation on Prabhu. Little is extensive, little.
Yes.
El Prabhu que estaba hablando Maharaj dijo que fue un discípulo de Prabhupada hace 4 años atrás, y después de Srila Prabhupada también continuó con la enseñanza con Srila Govinda Maharaja, y él estaba hablando acerca de algunas de sus experiencias espirituales en tantos años dentro del movimiento. Y también entonces el Maharaja intervino y él estaban hablando acerca de los distintos tipos de devotos, ¿no? Hay devotos de 4ª clase, de 3ª clase, devotees de 2ª clase, y 5th class o 1ª clase. También el Maharaja habló acerca de un tipo de devoto especial que se llama Subdha Bhakta, más alto nivel de los devotos. Son devotos que prácticamente la característica de ellos que el Maharaja explicó que si Subdha Bhakta son los devotos que logran una rendición, Saranagati o Saranagati, muy intensa, son muy puros. Entonces, un poco estaban hablando acerca de un poco acerca de esos tipos de devotos. Y al final el Maharaja, en resumen, estaba comentando que al final de todo, lo más importante es el amor puro en el corazón, esa sinceridad, esa entrega al guru y a las enseñanzas, porque lo más importante es seguir la instrucción del guru. Eso es todo. Ese es el secreto, seguir la instrucción que da el maestro espiritual, Gurudeva. Y para poder seguir la instrucción de Gurudeva hay que tener en el corazón amor puro y saranagati, rendición. Es muy importante, saranagati. Jai Maharaj.
Prabhu. Muchas gracias. All right,
Thank you, Maharaj.
all my friends and devotees, please accept my humble obeisances. Keep your health well, be well, and we'll see you next time, hopefully. Dhanyavad.
Dhanyavad.
Dandavad, Maharaj.
Dandavad.